I would like to acknowledge that this video is being filmed on the traditional lands of the Wurrundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to their elders past and present, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander or First Nations people who may be watching this video today. Hi everyone! Happy reading vlog weekend. I'm planning on reading the Peculiar Tastes ebooks that I received. So I was part of the Kickstarter and I have got a physical copy of all the books coming, but I did get the ebooks and I thought, well, let's just have a weekend reading monster romances because they're all short novella type books. I think they're like less than 200 pages each. So I'm planning on reading 6 of those this weekend. I also have Benny coming over. I have been busy this morning. It's just after 9. I've already filmed my videos for the weekend, plus this one, and I might film a members video a little bit later, but this was supposed to be the Ruby Fever weekend and that's been pushed back a week. And then Brie and I decided to do some productivity journaling sprints, so that will be happening really soon. Yes, Benny's coming over. I've just sort of tidied up enough so that he's got blankets and things everywhere to sit. My parents are starting to move this weekend and next week, so we just thought it would be easier for him to come and stay here for the day while they're going back and forth so he doesn't stress out. And yeah, that's pretty much the plans for the weekend. So I'm expecting him any minute now. Mum's coming to drop him off, and then I'm going to sort out setting up everything for the journaling stream. Then I'll update you on the books because I haven't got there yet. That's for a few hours time. I feel like I need to entertain Benny, but instead he's hanging out in his bed. Okay, so I probably need to fix my lipstick, but I'm going to start reading The Death God Sacrifice by Jenny Nordbak, which is supposedly the first book in the Peculiar Tastes series. Benny's just over here chilling. I'm hoping he'll come and sit over on this side, go over this side, where there is a blanket and it's nice and cozy. Instead I don't know what he's doing. But anyway, I'll check in when I finish reading this book. I just finished The Death God's Sacrifice by Jenny Nordbak. It was really good. It was a Gorgon romance. So it's all these books are set around the shadow market. And this one is set at the lowering of the veil that allows the shadow market to happen. And Stethno, the Gorgon, is out for revenge. One of her sisters has been killed and the other has been kidnapped. And she is trying to get her sister back. And so she's forced by Perseus to enter and become the sacrifice for the Dark Druid, who is in charge of lowering the veil via a sacrifice every year. A whole lot of things happen and it is very steamy. There is a tale involved. It was just good. And I really like Jenny Nordbak's writing. I mean, I love listening to her talk in podcasts because I think she is hilarious and her writing is no different. So I thoroughly enjoyed myself and I will be continuing with The Demon's Bargain by Katee Roberts soon. Okay, so I just finished The Demon's Bargain by Katee Roberts, and this is part of her Deal with the Demons series, or it's linked to it, because one of the partners in this book is Ramanu, and they have featured in both The Dragon's Bride and The Kraken's Sacrifice. Can't remember what it's called. Anyway, I like Ramanu as a character. They are just chaos personified, and I am here for it. In this one, we get their story with Lenora. Lenora is a witch. She's human, but there's a thread of something else in her family history, and she has lost a family heirloom that's been stolen by an ex of hers, and so she's trying to get it back, and she is pissed at him and she wants him dead. She starts off by summoning a bargainer demon, even though she's not entirely certain that she wants to pay the price, which is 7 years in the demon realm. And Ramanu is very enthralled by Lenora, and they agree to go with her to the shadow market, or they convince her to let them come with her to the shadow market. and they pursue her. It was great. Like, this is the best book in that series that Katee Robert has put out. The other two I enjoyed, but this one I really enjoyed it and the characters, and was fully invested from start to finish and just wanted to know what was going to happen. So A+. So I just finished the Hellmouth Guardian's Lover by Adriana Herrara, which is a bit of a play on like the Slayer mythology, aka Buffy the Vampire Slayer, at least I'm assuming that that's what it is. And you have Ariadne, who was a Slayer until her guardian, whose name is Augustus, betrayed her. She got very pissed at him at the time because they were lovers, and he basically abandoned her, and the next time she saw him, she cut up his face and scarred him. But he comes back to try and find her because the Slayer he's currently working with has been kidnapped and no one is helping him. But he doesn't reveal to her that he is no longer working for the order that betrayed both of them, and he lets her continue to hate him for a good portion of it. There is a lot of hate sex in this book. There's a lot of sex in general because she has moved on from being a Slayer to basically running a sex club for monsters, and is quite good at it by all accounts. I enjoyed this. It was really fun, but the one thing I have to say is stopping to have sex in the middle of trying to rescue someone who's being held prisoner while you are traveling through the grounds that are currently filled with monsters does not sound like a reasonably sound plan. And the whole time I was reading that part of the book, I'm just like, this does not sound like a good idea. And you are both very intelligent individuals, so why is this happening? So be aware of that if you go into it. But other than that, it was fun and really unique, and you know, these monsters had some very interesting bits and pieces going on, and the bonus epilogue was basically a wedding night orgy, which was interesting. I am probably going to read the next 3 books tomorrow. I think I need to take a little break. I want to do some diamond painting tonight. I just want to do something like that. I may check in with you later, but I'm going to have a shower and have dinner now. Benny has gone home, so he's no longer here with me. No more puppy cuddles. Happy Sunday, everyone. I have not read anything this morning, and I'm about to head out for Father's Day lunch. We are taking my nonno out for lunch, and I'm also going to see my parents' new place. They're starting to move in, so we're going to do that. I'm also in the middle of a secret little booktube project that members will find out about hopefully this weekend, and a few of my other friends will find out about as well, that I'm hoping will come out in November, so stay tuned. But when I get home tonight, I will read through the last 3 novellas in the Peculiar Tastes books, so stay tuned. I probably won't take the camera to lunch. If I get a little bit of footage on my phone, I might include it, but otherwise I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later this afternoon. I just finished the next book in the Peculiar Tastes series, so it's the Vixen's Deceit by Nikki Sloane. I really liked this one. It was very well written and very immersive. So it's about a reporter who is sent to write a review of a very famous haunted house experience, and it's one of the best in the world. It's very mysterious. People don't get invited to review it. It costs thousands of dollars to attend it, and it is celebrating its, I think, 10th year running in Scotland, where the shadow market is being held. And there's a whole lot of waivers that this reporter has to sign before he can go in, and then when he's in there, he experiences a whole lot of different scenarios. And he also meets a woman with pink hair called Chelsea, who is the lift operator in various scenes. So like I said, I really enjoyed this one. It was very immersive and you could really picture it, and I'm not a haunted house / horror person at all. Like, that's not my thing. And I did like the ending, but I have to admit that I thought it was building to something bigger than what it was. I'm kind of disappointed, and I don't know whether that's just because these characters don't make the link to the shadow market, because all the main characters are human, so I don't know if that's what influenced my opinion, because like I said, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well written, but I don't know, I can't help feeling like something was missing. So yes, take that as you will. Anyway, I'll be reading the next one, which is by an author I'm not sure of. Hang on, who is it? Zoey Castile, The Captive Merman's Promise. So I'll be reading that shortly. Alrighty, so I just finished The Captive Merman's Promise by Zoey Castile. This was fun. It's kind of like a reverse Little Mermaid retelling, and it was highly enjoyable. And you have a bruja who has been cursed. Her entire family line has been cursed, and to save her family from never being able to fall in love with anyone else, she has taken the entire family line's curse into her body. And so she seeks out a warlock at the shadow market in order to make a deal to have her curse removed. It's not a great deal for her, and before she signs any contracts, she meets Ronan, who is the merman who has also entered into a bargain with the warlock, and the two end up forming a connection, and we find out what the link is between Amada, the bruja, and the warlock, and it was just really fun and cute and a really interesting sort of merman story. So it would be interesting to see if Zoey Castile is actually planning on continuing this story, because it's certainly been left open for that. But yeah, it was fun. So now I have one more story to go. It is Sierra Simone's story, The Fae Queen's Captive, I think is what it's called. So I'm very, very excited to start that one. Alright, so I finished The Fae Queen's Captive. This one is about the Fae Queen who we've been hearing about in the other stories so far, and she is relatively new on the throne. Her mother was killed by the rival Unseelie court. She has a human woman kidnapped from an archaeological dig that they're working on, and her name is Janeth. And Janeth is brought to the fairy realm, and she makes a bargain with the Fae Queen that will allow her to leave fairy unhurt and undamaged at the end of Halloween. And then of course things are not quite what they seem. I really loved this one because there's a lot of, you know, fairy lore that is well known, and you hear bits and pieces of it in other stories and you suddenly get all of it together in this one, and it was really cool. I mean, Sierra Simone's writing, I've said it before, I love her writing so much. It's just beautiful to read. I'm actually even wondering if at the end there is this sneak peek. I think it's a Thornchapel reference, and I need to reread Thornchapel, but I thought it was a Thornchapel reference, and if it's not a Thornchapel reference, it is a Easter egg for possibly the next round of Peculiar Taste books. I don't know. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. So those are the 6 books, or the 6 stories from the Peculiar Tastes Kickstarter extravaganza, I suppose I should say. I will have an unboxing of my hard copy box when it arrives sometime later this year. I know they're being shipped out in October for the first rounds, because I can't remember if I said this at the start, but I originally supported it and missed out on the October boxes and had pledged for the April boxes next year. And then on the very last day of the Kickstarter, like with 6 hours to spare, I went in and there was one of the October boxes available. So I switched everything over, because of course I did. But I'm very excited to get these books because they're going to be so pretty in person. I think my favorite overall was Katee Roberts' one, just because I love Ramanui as a character. But I also really liked this, The Fae Queen's Captive, and I also really liked the Vixen's Deceit. So yeah, very successful reading weekend. Very happy with myself. In the comments, I would love to know if you are reading the Peculiar Tastes books, or if you're getting any of the merch or books from the Kickstarter. I'd love to know who else got very excited when that all was announced, because I was very excited. Very, very, very excited. I hope that wherever you're in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye everyone.